auxiliary fuel tank construction. Have the parts put together this morning. This is the left auxiliary tank. Have it clamped together. Have measured out the front rivet patterns, and I'm working on the aft end rivet patterns. I found that having the board hanging over the edge gives me a good workspace to hang it on while I'm working. Plan will be to get them all marked out and then drill the skins and then work on the flanges on the inside. I have the tops and the backs, and then I'll move on to the front. The right wing tank is over here, already marked on the top and the back. And this is the example tank pulled out of one of the planes that are being worked on, so just have it sitting here so it'll kind of guide me. Back to work. So with every other cleco out, I've drilled all the holes on all the seams and edges, pulled the cleco out of every other one. I'll go through and drill them to a number 30. With the tightness of these clecos, I'm going to do probably 4 to shot, and then I'll put clecos in, and then do 4 to shot, go a little bit quicker. Left wing fuel tank install. So an update, required a little bit of extra work here. The fuel tanks are clecoed together and they're all set up. Started with the right wing yesterday, and when I went to put them in, they don't fit. They are a little bit big, which is actually all right, and it just required some minor trimming. So left wing auxiliary fuel tank. So you'll notice the skin is back on, the outboard skin is back in place, it's all trimmed up, the rib was trimmed a little bit. The fuel tank had some technical difficulties with the audio and recording, so I don't know what happened, it didn't record it. So this is round 2. So I have trimmed off about a 1/16 of an inch off the bottom sides, squared everything up on the tops. Also have taken about a 1/16 of an inch off of this edge and that edge, as well as the vertical edges. So the large part of the tank goes in the larger part of the wing, aft here. So if everything works the way it should, this should now slide in, and the clecos are actually hanging out a little bit, so that's going to cause a little bit for now. But the tank itself slides in, goes into place. It'll actually share the same rivet holes as the aft spar on that bottom lower skin. And and everything else works really well. So the so 16th on each side and then a 16th, so provided it goes perfect. So now I will get to the part of actually gluing these together using the flame guard, sealing the inside edges of the tanks where the side parts come together. Get that all done. That way I can take the clecos out and make sure everything fits, and then I'll start aligning it on the inside of the skin. Left wing fuel tank. I'm getting ready to mix the Flame Master sealant. So to do that, you do it by weight. So I found that each wing tank, each side takes about 40, if I use 40 grams, it works just about perfect to give me enough to do the edges, get it riveted in place, and then do the seam. I've found that slow and steady wins the race with this process. Everything's laid out. I've got all of the tank parts taped and ready to go. I've got the rivets in place. The mixture ratio on this is 10:1, so I'll use 40 of part A, and then I'll use 4 of part B. Left-hand fuel tank, have the Flame Master sealant with part A and part B. Mix it up until it's a consistent color. So we have a consistent color all the way through, scraped down. I like the tongue depressor to be able to spread it on. It's kind of gooey, takes a little bit of playing with. I found that last time holding the side panel this way so that the inside was close to me made it a little easier to work on, because the bigger bead needs to be on the inside, which is where we're trying to seal the fuel from. I'll coat the entire surface, but most of it's going to be on the inside edge here. And I put a little bit on that rounded edge, because that's where we're gonna have a bead that goes on the inside where it mates. And I had pretty good success with preloading that edge on the flat side with the small bead. It makes it pretty easy to go back, and when I bevel on the inside, I've got material there to already bevel with. I'm not trying to put material in. So I've reached the end of another build session down here in Austinburg. So behind me you'll see there's 2 wings. Both of them are skinned, and top and bottom. Fuel tanks are made. They're not installed entirely. I've got to do a little more work on that. And then the pitot tube's in, servo for the roll, autopilot is in. So pretty good couple of weeks of building. Quick walk around of the finished product for the last 2 weeks of working, minus a couple days, one for snow and one for delayed flights and travel. So the top skins and the bottom skins are both on. This is the right wing top skin. It's riveted in place with a couple of aluminum rivets. It's got a nice curve, it's nice and tight, and it's set. The pitot tube mast is installed and in place, and not permanently affixed, but just temporarily, for the Dynon angle of attack pitot with the heated controller that will go inside the wing next to it in a inspection cover. I saw a nod to one of the guys I saw on YouTube that's building a 705. He put the controller right on the inspection panel so it's easy to pull out. So I think I'm gonna borrow that idea from him. Bottom skin is clecoed on from the bottom, or from the inside, and then the top skin was just tack, so there's no clecos floating around to catch anybody. The auxiliary fuel tank is in place. The inspection cover is temporarily in place. It is not finished, but it is pretty close to just needing some finish work done on it. And the left wing is in the same status. So all the skins are on, bottom is clecoed from the inside. Flat brackets are in, top and bottom skins are on. Some of my wing fuel tank tubing and stuff I just slid inside the wing so it just is out of the road and not taking up space. Pretty excited with the progress. So I have a confession. There are times when I get to building that I either forget to do a video or I just don't want to stop to do one. So ultimately, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, do a thumbs up, share it with your friends, just so that I know it's worth my time to be doing this. I know that I'm documenting this for myself as well. As I just get frustrated sometimes. I'm right in the middle of something. I'm like, I should stop and video this. So that's my confession. If you like them, subscribe, and help me out here. Thanks.